What happened during the blizzard and after, to just basically reassure our ranchers that it was no fault of their own.
Conditions with the storm were just such that we were really behind the eight ball no matter what we did. And it started out with so much rain and the fact that the animals were soaked, down to the skin. And we talked a little bit today about how that really affects the thermal regulation of the animal. Just the ability for it to keep itself warm. They have to expend so much energy just standing there in a wet situation, in a blizzard with wind and cold temperatures. If they were just doing nothing but standing still, they were burning energy, and they had to burn a lot more energy than they were used to. And so you throw that in with the winds and the fact that they trailed and bunched up and moved very many miles sometimes from their home herds. You add that energy deficit to it, and it's not surprising that many of those cattle succumb to that just exhaustion. We have a situation where the stress kind of takes that from a normal bacterial population or viral populations into pathogenic things. So what we saw 3 to 4 weeks afterwards, we had a lot of respiratory diseases. Not that the blizzard brought in anything new, it was the germs that cattle always deal with, and the stress and the cortisol levels created a lot of illness in the animals. But the good news is that's temporary. They get back to normal, back to eating their normal diets, back to their normal environments. What we don't know really about are the reproductive effects of the blizzard on the pregnant cows, because most of our cows were pregnant at the time. Some of the animals that were really stressed out, stuck in mud and that kind of thing and survived, we do have reports that they did lose some pregnancies. But for the most part, cattle are pretty tough, and we expect that most of them should be able to hold on to their pregnancies. The big question is if the fetus survives and is born next spring, what were the effects of the stress on that fetus during the second trimester of gestation. We had some cattle go down with some tetany kind of signs. We had a lot of calves bloat after the storm, and then even things like pink eye. So being prepared for the sequelae, I don't know how much we can really manage that resumption back on the feed after a thing like this. It's pretty tough. But at least if we can be on the ball about treating the bloats or the tetanies after the blizzard, we can at least maybe put them in a situation where we can save some more of those animals and not make things worse afterwards.